Hello everyone, this is Brigham Young University, Idaho. We're doing a alignment demonstration. Right now we're going to go ahead and pull this vehicle up on the alignment rack. Notice how we're pulling it up and on, straight and forward. And we are going to pull this vehicle just before we get to those red turn plates, just in front of those tires. Once we are right in front of those turn plates, we'll shut the car off. We'll jump out of the vehicle. We'll grab wheel chocks that we can put in front and in rear of that left rear wheel. I'm going to jump back in the vehicle, turn the key to the run position, and shift that shifter back to the neutral position. Make sure I've got my key turned off all the way that I can. I'm going to jump out. I'm going to walk forward to these red turn plates, making sure they're in line with the front tires. And then I'm going to walk around to that left rear. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to roll this vehicle onto those turn plates. So I've moved that front wheel chock forward. And as I gently push that vehicle forward, I line up that wheel, the center hubcap, with the center of that turn plate. I'm going to go ahead and lift this vehicle up to working height, and typically that's around waist height. Once you raise it up to that point, you stop, and then you hit lock, and it'll actually lower to the locking points, which ensures that it's level. Right now I'm underneath the vehicle. Ensure that the jack has air connected to it, and I'm going to go ahead and utilize the correct attachments and find the correct lifting point so I can raise the front of this vehicle. Once I've got my air hooked up to my jack, I can go ahead and raise the vehicle, and it will actually click each time it passes a locking point. Once I raise it up to a workable height and I've gone past a lock, I'm going to go ahead and lower it onto the lock. And this is a safety procedure that you must follow to ensure that that jack will not fall down on you while you're working underneath the vehicle. But keep in mind, I've got my lifting points are on these lower control arms that have ball joints, and so I've got the weight of the vehicle on the lower ball joint. So I can check for play. Looking at that ball joint, I can check for play by putting my hands at both 12 and 6 o'clock, rocking it back and forth, feeling for play and looking for play. I can also check at 9 and 3 to validate if I have any wheel bearing play or any tie rod in play. Things to consider: look at all your joints while you have your vehicle up in the air. Visual inspections can go a long way. Alright, we're going to go ahead and raise the vehicle. We'll have to raise it up off the locks. Then we'll hit the lock release button and then lower the vehicle. Okay. Once that vehicle is down, we'll transition on over to the control tower, and then we will lower that vehicle. At this point in time, we want to lower this vehicle to a workable height. And typically that's going to be right close to where your waist is. So lower that vehicle down to waist level and then hit the lock and level button. That makes sure that the vehicle is on the locks and that it's level. If it's not, it's going to skew your results. Alright, next we're going to go ahead and validate tire air pressure. To do that, look at your tire placard, validate the specification for the vehicle, and then go around to each tire and air those tires up or deflate them as necessary. You also need to keep in mind if this vehicle has been driven for a short distance or a long distance. We need to adjust accordingly If our tires are not inflated correctly, it can affect the driving, the steerability, and also your measurements that you are going to perform here
Under
during your
console.
alignment.
Yeah, Doug. Go ahead.
All right, next up, we're going to go ahead and open up the alignment program. Click on the icon on the desktop for WinAlign. Go ahead and click on that. Takes just a few moments for it to load up. And then go ahead and click on Begin Alignment on the lower right hand corner. And then grab your scanner. This will allow you to select your vehicle rather quickly instead of going through each and individual options. I can do that by scanning this barcode that's available that's associated with the VIN. Now I've noticed that there's an option for this vehicle. It has a lane departure warning system. We need to make sure that that is selected based off of the VIN and based off the options on the vehicle, because we need to follow that procedure to ensure that there are no errors or issues that will surface after aligning this vehicle. Alright, now we can grab our targets pointing to the left front. It's indicated on that sticker, so go ahead and grab that target, put it on the left front wheel, make sure it's centered over the hub, put out the arms onto the tread and lock it in place. Same process for the left rear. Notice how the left rear tire is indicated on the target, lock it in place. Once I have all my targets on place, I'm ready to proceed with taking some measurements. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do as specified by the alignment machine, roll the vehicle back. I'm watching the alignment machine, make sure it gets to the green, hold it there for a moment, and then roll the vehicle back forward. Make sure I'm only pulling and pushing on the tire. If I touch the body or push on the body, it could skew the results. Next thing, I'm following the directions on the alignment machine. I'm going to go ahead and put my brake pedal depressor onto the vehicle. Just to reaffirm, follow those directions whenever those windows pop up. Next step is to actually rotate or turn the wheels as directed, and prior to doing that I need to make sure I take my pins out of my turn plates. If I don't do that, it's going to make it very difficult to turn the steering, and it may not give me a good reading. Following the directions as defined, as stated by the alignment machine. Once I've been able to do that, my machine will be able to capture the results. Alright, these are my measurements. Left side is 0.22 out of spec. If you notice, I can go right to that left front tire and just bump it out towards the left. And you'll see how it compensates, or those numbers will become closer to their specification. I can click on Show Next Axle, and that's going to show me the rear of the vehicle. And now I'm going to go ahead and click on the steering wheel icon. Clicking on that steering wheel icon comes up with this menu, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Adjust Tow with WinTow. Next step, start the engine, level the steering wheel, install the brake pedal depressor, and then turn off the engine. Alright, next step, I've jumped up to the vehicle, started my vehicle, centered the steering wheel, and have installed my brake pedal depressor. Once that's complete, I am now free to go ahead and raise this vehicle so we can work underneath the vehicle and have access to the steering components that will require adjustment. Here I'm actually loosening up the jam nut on the right front tie rod end. I'm going to go ahead and utilize the special tool that can grab onto the inner tie rod, and it's going to go ahead and rotate it until I'm zeroed out. I can go ahead and hit ready, and then I can go ahead and hit adjust left side. Loosen up my jam nut, I'm going to go ahead and rotate that inner tie rod until I'm zeroed out. I can utilize my handheld device as well to help me see where my numbers are at if I'm unable to see the monitor on the alignment machine. You can see right now I'm making the adjustment, adjusting that inner tie rod and bringing it down to 0 where the machine is recommending that we do. After I've performed those adjustments, going to go ahead and jounce the vehicle, lock the jam nut, equalize rotation, and hit ready. Now with the engine running, I'm going to go ahead and steer ahead, and if necessary, I can go ahead and restart the procedure if needed. Alright, verify that I'm still in the green. Steering wheel was centered and straight. I've now completed my alignment. The WinAlign program will indicate if you need to make any further adjustments or reprogramming if necessary. For us in this situation, we did not have to do any further programming or updating on the steering wheel angle sensor. Went ahead and rolled the vehicle back off the turn plates. Going to go ahead and put the pins in the turn plates so we're ready for the next alignment. Thank you. I hope this was beneficial for you.